I do want to talk to you about our journalism this morning and the report that we have carried out. You've seen the reporting. What have you made of the way that these smuggling gangs are able to abuse the system?
Well, of course, it's really concerning to hear anybody that's gaining access to this country illegally, and I commend the journalism that Sky's undertaken to find this. It's really important that while we're focused on making sure that we stop the crossings, that we also make sure that we are keeping every entry method as tight as possible. So we'll, of course, look at that, but I'm confident that the levels coming through the Channel Tunnel are decreasing.
And you will focus in, though, on what's happening around the Channel Tunnel, because as we've seen from our reporting, it seems as if, certainly for the people smugglers, they think it's an easy way in.
Yeah, and I think the really important thing is here looking at the abuse that you've highlighted, whether it's through sort of passports or organised crime. We've invested a huge amount of money across the world, actually, in tackling the sort of supply chains, the illegal working, the gangs that are undertaking this. With Albania, who obviously your report highlights, we have a returns agreement now, so we're making sure that anyone who comes to here illegally can be returned to Albania.
I mean, you're saying it's record numbers, but isn't the truth that we don't know how many people are here illegally?
Well, it'd be really difficult to know those numbers, to be able to say that with any confidence, because that's part of the issue. You know, if we knew they were there, we would find them.
The difficulty is knowing the numbers and how much you're actually cutting into those that are here. And you said the resources are going to be put into that. But let's go back to the border, because we heard from a person who used to work on the border who was very concerned that they were just being completely overwhelmed by this. All the focus has been on small boats. The focus needs to go back to some of those harder border crossings, doesn't it?
Well, I think we need to make sure that we have every single point covered. There must be no vulnerability in our border security.
You've seen the footage, and these smugglers think that they can just drive in fancy cars, they can show fake documents, and they have no concern at all about crossing the border. I mean, that suggests that they think that we are soft touch.
Well, so we know that when they get here, we can find them, we will deport them back to Albania because we have that agreement. We've just got to make sure there are no vulnerabilities, and that includes passport checks, that includes vehicle checks, that includes, as I said, using the technology that we've deployed both at the Channel Tunnel, but also everything we're doing, working with the French on these small boats as well.
The other element of our reporting as well is what these individuals have to do when they get here to pay back their smuggler. What enforcement is being put in to try and cut down on these drug gangs and this drugs payback that these guys have to indulge in?
Well, again, the budget for the National Crime Agency has more than doubled, and I know there's a huge amount of work going on to investigate the flows of money and to use intelligence and data to find these gangs, to hunt them down, to root them out. So, of course, we have to disrupt that. It's no good just all of these things, as your report has demonstrated, are part of big networks internationally. So it's no good just thinking literally about the border enforcement, important as that is. We have to look at the supply chains, we have to use data, we have to use police and criminal intelligence to deal with this as well. So